Social media has made Gen Z toxic. So I saw a video on Gracie K's channel. I'm going to link her in the description. And basically, there's this new trend of Gen Zers, where Gen Zers basically switch over to flip phones. It's like some technology they're just discovering. So many of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s, in the 90s, know that flip phones were like basically the first phone where everyone was able to get access to a cell phone, have a cell phone. The flip phone was the cool thing. We also had the Motorola bricks. Like basically, you drop that thing on the ground, it just lasted forever and ever. And those are making a comeback as well. We refer to these things as feature phones, or many people just call them dumb phones because they lack a lot of the social media features that people have gotten used to, right down to even being able to go on the internet. So Gen Zers are like switching over to this. Not all Gen Zers, but a small group of them. And they're kind of like trying to do like a social media detox. And it's 100% social media that's messed up Gen Z. I've said this already, that Gen X did not raise Gen Z. Social media raised Gen Z. And by the way, if you guys enjoy these videos, make sure to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe down below. And of course, members for the channel do get new videos early. If you'd like to learn more about that, click the join button down below this video. Yeah, so social media made these people toxic. Like I said, they're a bad batch of muffins, and it's a problem that's permeating throughout society. They have the lowest lifespan of people over the last 100 years. You already know how I feel about Gen Z. I'm not fond of them. And Gen Alpha is going to be even worse. I've said this already, that Gen Alpha will be a large prison population when so many of them cannot read and are coming from fatherless homes. Those statistics alone tell us that there will be a lot of them loaded up into the prisons. And of course, that's what we do in the United States. We have more prisoners, more people incarcerated than any other country in the world. Yes, not by ratio. Literally, we have more people incarcerated than China, that has like well over 1 billion people. So it's pretty bad. Anyway, we're gonna jump into the video from Gracie K. And like I said, she's linked in the description, so you can go and check out her channel and see what she's about. But she's a Gen Zer, and you can basically see what's going on with these people now.
Smartphones, the world at your fingertips, designed to connect us with the world and with each other, but somehow has ended up doing the complete opposite. What started as connection has become distraction. About a month ago, I made a video stating that I deleted social media and my reasons for doing so. What you didn't see was that I still managed to be addicted to my phone. The time spent on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, whatever, got replaced with apps like Gmail, Photos, and the weather forecast. I realized that it didn't matter what the app was, my brain was just craving the sensation of careless scrolling. Social media was definitely the root of my toxic habits, but I was just addicted to being on my phone in general. Once I get an idea, I become fully committed, and I decided that I was done spending my life glued to a screen. So what did I do? I waltzed on over to Verizon and I was like, "Excuse me, I would like to downgrade." And they were all, "You mean upgrade?" No, downgrade. I would like to get a flip phone. Girl, we don't carry a flip phone. It's 2024. And then I just stood there. I looked like a lost little puppy. I had all these hopes and dreams. And before I walked out, they were like, "Oh, but we carry them online, so we can order that for you if you'd like." I was like, yes, I would like that. Fast forward 2 days later, it came in. And by it, I mean my waterproof military grade flip phone. It was love at first flip, and that's how we met. Let me be clear, in the beginning, old Flippy and I had our fair share of rocky moments. Texting on this thing took some getting used to. It takes me like 5 minutes to type out one sentence, but maybe it's a good thing. I often don't text anymore. I usually resort to calling, but I like it. It makes conversations more meaningful. I noticed myself feeling really bored in the beginning, and I was like, I should not be feeling this bored. I had all this time on my hands. I didn't know what to do. I was still trying to find something to occupy my mind with, like playing music or doing dishes or just something that had a little bit of noise. But then I asked myself, why am I and everyone else constantly trying to find something to fill the silence? After I ditched my screens, things just seemed more quiet. The more I listened, I started to realize that maybe it wasn't too quiet after all. There were sounds. They just got overlooked all the time. Being still has always been uncomfortable for me. I am a busy bee. I like to constantly be doing something, but recently I've become more content with a slower way of life. I'm still living, still working, making friends, making food, going on adventures, but there isn't that constant nagging urge to pick up my phone and disconnect. When I tell you I have read more books in the past month than I have in the past year, oh my goodness, it's so much fun! The joy that I get from going into the bookstore, smelling all the pages in the paper, and then finally finding a book to read and just dive into. Ever since I ditched my screens, I've been feeling that excitement for those little kinds of experiences way more often, and it's wonderful. My social circle has definitely decreased, and it's not that I'm losing friends, it's just that I don't have those internet interactions anymore. I didn't realize how big of a portion those internet interactions take up in like my everyday communications. It's a lot. The internet is cool because it allows you to connect with people from all over the world, but this connection can only go so far. Like the value that you get from real world in-person interactions will always exceed the online world. Phones have just become so prevalent in our daily lives that they've impacted the way that younger generations, mine being one of them, are able to engage in offline activities. And I've worked with kids a lot the past few years, and it's really sad to see, especially the younger ones, go from a play-based childhood to a phone-based childhood, where devices are just their whole center of attention. It wasn't until after I got my flip phone that I started researching all of this, but I was curious, I started realizing that I was feeling better. I wanted to see if anyone else had any experiences, and boy, was there experiences. The amount of podcasts that I listened to and articles that I read supporting that technology is just so bad for people's self-esteem, attention span, mental health, and ability to make real-world connections. It was mind-boggling, and there really, really is some truth to it. The decision to go flip phone was purely personal. It wasn't anything that I was trying to do to spread a message or encourage others to do the same. It was just something that I felt to do for myself. But now, as time has gone by, I've been able to see just how positive of a change it was, and I wanted to share it with you. It was difficult at first. I was really concerned about being out of the loop, whatever the loop is. But, oh my goodness, you guys, I am so out of the loop. Half of the time, I don't even know what people are talking about. It's a little rough. It's a little lonely. I feel a little stupid, but overall, I'm happy with the loop that I created for myself. It's a loop full of friends, of nature, of books, of cooking, of meaningful conversations and meaningful experiences.
Yeah, so I'm going to guarantee you she will be right back to her smartphone in a short time. It will not last. A Gen Zer without their smartphone is like a fish out of water. These are trendsters. They're just trying something new. They'll get bored of it eventually, and they'll go right back to their pond. That's how these people work. Okay, I have zero faith that Gen Z can actually stick to anything, especially staying off social media. It won't work. Eventually, they'll get bored, and they're going to say, okay, it's right back to hell we go, because it is from hell that we came, and it's to hell that we shall return. This is just a natural progression of a Gen Zer. Think about this. These people have the lowest well-being of people born over the last 100 years. Okay? Their happiness level are lower than women born 100 years ago. Their health is worse than women born 100 years ago. Gen Z women have higher mortality rates during pregnancy than women born 100 years ago. That should just tell you about how bad things are. And all the makeup that they wear, it's aging them rapidly. And of course, Gen Zers, when they hear these things, they don't care. Like, you're like, hey, you guys are passing away faster than everyone else right now. They don't give a damn, because their view of life is just like, well, The boomers stole our future. There's nothing to live for. We'll just steal whatever we can get along the way, and that's it, man. They're hippies. They're hippies, and you've got like the bad hygiene and all that other crap going on with them. And it's like nothing you say to the Gen Zers will really get through to them. And I've said it plenty of times. If you send them to prison, if you send them to jail, they're just gonna have a good time there. Okay, it's gonna be a big celebration for them. They're gonna do is eat, sleep, drink, get drunk, fart, play games, watch TV, smoke weed, smoke cigarettes, do drugs, get laid, get tatted up, and then do it all again the next day. That is the true nature of Gen Z. You can't reach out to them. You cannot help them. I have a comment on one of my videos. Gen Z is passing away and refusing to work. This came from John, and he says, I have a Gen Z nephew, 19 years old, does nothing all day, no interest in girls, no interest in getting a job, no interest in getting a driver's license, living at home with his single mother mom. Get a welfare payment for being unemployed. So it sounds like he's in the UK. Convinced there is going to be an extinction event soon. Why try anything? I even bought him a mint Gen 3 Honda Prelude 4-wheel. What the heck? No, no, no. Nah, bro. Gen 3 Honda? No, no, no. Let's look that up. I'm going to look that up because this sounds like a nice car. Sounds like a really, really nice car. So he bought this kid a sweet car. And what did this little jerk do? He decided that he was not going to do anything regardless. So basically, he picked him up a car, the car that we all wanted to drive in the 90s. Okay? Sweet car. Picked him up a sweet car. And what does this guy do? He's still like, yeah, bro, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do anything. I don't want to do anything. And if we could take a picture, we can take a look at what the car looks like. This is the car right here. This was the boss back in the 90s, y'all. This is the boss. This was a boss car back in the 90s. Holy cow. That's a sweet ride right there. This, and like, you have the beams, like the headlights you turn on the headlights and they go up. Holy cow. Beautiful car. Absolutely beautiful car. But you have to remember, Gen Z, they don't really have our sense of style and fashion. So I don't know. These guys are weirdos. Absolute weirdos. Has a sunroof on there. That's a beauty. That's an absolute beauty. Wasted on Gen Z. Wasted on these bad muffins. Let's see here. Bad batch. Okay. And he says he has no interest in the car. What is wrong with these kids? How can one be so empty and deceased and still breathing? Yeah, I mean, this is just the reality of them. They're not good. They're not good. They're no good. No good whatsoever. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, consider checking out the Men Walking Away channel where I release daily videos. There's a link to the Men Walking Away channel description in the video. Go check it out. Subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the content. Guys, what do you think regarding all of this? Social media has made Gen Z toxic. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWM and walking away. And cheers.